Okay, just to as to segue into tonight's Gemara, let's go back in time. We had a stira from the Mishnah, our Mishnah in Kesuvos to the Mishnah in Elohim Aloikin. Our Mishnah says that if you're ma'anis a girl, then you get what? You get you pay. And the Mishnah Malka says, who gets Malkus? Elohim Aloikin, Abala Chaisai. So our Mishnah says Abala Chaisai. You don't say Kam Lebi the Rabbi, and you pay. And the Mishnah in Malkus said, no, you get Malkus. So we had two ways to answer the kasha. It was predicated upon whether you hold what takes precedence, Mammon or Malkus. So Ula held what? Ula held Mammon and Malkus, you pay money. Therefore, our Mishnah can't be speaking where you didn't give Asra, because even if you did give Asra, you would still pay. So it says through Kimta that our Mishnah is speaking about a Naira, that's speaking of Boigeres, and with a Shaita, Mafuta, Yusaima, he came up with a Heichet Timtza of a case to say why a Mishnah you go ahead wide and you don't pay. Forget about it. Of course, you don't pay Nusa, but you don't even pay Baishes, you don't pay Vat, Begam Mishpacha. Rabbi Yochanan gave a very easy teretz. Rabbi Yochanan says, Mammon and Malkus, you're going to go get Malkus. Our Mishnah is speaking where you didn't give Hasra. Our Mishnah is speaking where you didn't give Hasra. And the Mishnah Malkus is speaking where you did give Asra. Right? And well, we had each one Shita. Hachas was the Gzera Shava of Ula. Rabbi Yochanan learned it out from Kedei V'Shasai. Mishnah Achas at the Mechayvai. He had the Mechayv Mishnah Mishuyos. So, and therefore, Sikam Leib the Rabbi. Before we begin the Gemara, there's a very nice Rav Chaim, very famous Rav Chaim Briska. Rav Chaim Briska says a beautiful pshat. We entertained yesterday the difference between maybe the difference between Misa and Malkus and Malkus. In other words, but actually I think it might be today's spot. So let's not jump ahead. I'm jumping ahead myself. Okay, we'll get Bes Hashem. We'll talk about it when we get there. So now we're gonna have a second another derech how to explain the Mishnah, our Mishnah, versus the Mishnah in Malkus. That Mishnah Malkus says you get Malkus for being with your sister, and over here in the Mishnah you pay for being okay. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to see a different mahalach how to answer that up. So we're up to the two dots on Lamed Gimel Amid Beis, about 3/4 of the way down, a little past the halfway point. There's two dots. Reishlaka Shamar. Hum money. Who's the Tana of our Mishnah? Hum money. Who is the Tana of our Mishnah? It's Reb Meir. The Tana of our Mishnah is Reb Meir. Now, what's unique about Meir? Guys, we met Reb Meir yesterday by Eidim Simon, right? Person testified that a guy owns another person $200. Imanu Yisem, they come Eidim Simon. So Reb Meir said that what you're going to get Malkus for Loisana Briachet Shaka, and you're going to pay money for Kasha Zamam. You get both. So here's his teretz, guys. When our Mishnah said you pay, it wasn't meaning you only pay. You get Malkus also, but it's just you do pay. So that's the teretz. Money. Our Mishnah said, "May he dama like mishaling." Right? Mishnah says, "You like mishaling." Why? Because he's not going to hold the vod of kam leib the Rabbi. He won't. He'll said that Malkus and Mammon. Obviously, he doesn't say that what kam leib the Rabbi. Right? Yeah, so you're going to do both. He says, "Ma'ira meya afilo bitay nami." If it's Reb Meir, then afilo bitay also should pay. Now we're going to see the next Mishnah, fellas. Habal Bita, if someone's ma'anis his daughter, which is a chayiv misas bezdin, we're going to say kamle b'd Rab Mineh. You're not going to pay. But 1 second, if Reb Meir doesn't buy into kamle, guys, outside, if Reb Meir doesn't buy into kamle, right? He's saying you're going to pay money and you get malchus, right? So what's the difference? Money, malchus, money, or money. Either way, he doesn't hold one of kamle b'd Rab Mineh. So Fred the Gemara now, if you're telling me on Mishnah is according to Reb Meir, if you're going to say now, our Mishnah is according to Reb Meir. In the next Mishnah in our parak, the person's ma'anis's daughter. In fact, he's parted from paying because you say kamle b'd Rab Mineh, right? But how could, according to Reb Meir, you don't say kamle? What's the raya? Mammon and Malkus, you're getting both. You're getting both, right? So therefore, you have a kavod. How it's the havamina? The Gemara is that this is one big Mishnah. This Mishnah and the next Mishnah. Our Mishnah is speaking about where you do pay. The next Mishnah is speaking about where you don't pay. Good. Why do you pay? Because come labor the Rab Mineh, you're going to get the more severe punishment. You're going to get the more severe punishment, and therefore you're not going to go ahead and pay. Like Reb Meir, you should pay. That's the problem. Now, What's the obvious difference, guys? Listen to the lumdis. Maybe, guys, Remeya doesn't hold of kamle by mamin and malchus, but he would hold of kamle by misa and mamin, right? By misa, I said misa and malchus. No, by mamin, malchus and mamin, he doesn't hold of kamle. By misa and mamin, he would hold of kamle. So our Mishnah's speaking about what? Misa, malchus and mamin, he would hold. You get both. He doesn't hold the kamle. Masha Ein came by misa, he would hold both. Masha Ein came misa, he would hold both. Now, there is two. The svara is very, very ungenommen. Guys, it's a very interesting thing. Rav Chaim Briska points out that there's two sources of kamle b'derab mine. One, kidei risha asai, mishum risha achas atam mechayvoi, v'atam mechayvoi mishum shnei rishuyos. Bezdin is commanded when you have two, only give him one. And what's that one? Arbaim yakenu, to give him 40. What about chiyinatzu anashim, v'nok for isha hara, v'layeh asan, anish yanesh. The imyeh asan, meaning there's misa, then you'll say kamle. So there's two sources, one for what? For malchus and mammon, and one for misa and mammon. So Ken Zayin, since they're two different sources, in fact, they're two different chiyuvim, like Rav Chaim. So Ken Zayin, Rav Meir holds the one, he doesn't hold it. Guys, not Ken Zayin. Lemaskona einachinami. Rav Meir holds mammon or malchus, you don't say kamle. Misa and mammon, you will say kamle. In other words, v'chi tema over here usually means to suggest the teretz, and you don't, and then you end up saying that what is this kind of teretz? No, this einachinami will be a teretz. This einachinami will in fact be a teretz. We're going to hold this for a teretz. Says the Gemara. So v'chi tema, what are you going to say? Rav Meir loiku mishalem. He holds like a mishalem islay because you don't say kamle. Mesa mishalem leslay, but mesa mishalem you don't pay because he does say if it says kamle. Veloy, guys, you with me so far? Veloy, you mean he doesn't say? I'll prove to you he does say. Okay, outside there's halacha in the Torah of Dalid v'Hei. In other words, if you steal something from somebody, and you steal a ganif, not a gazlin, you're a ganif, and you steal. The Heshiv is a Gzelis Asher Gozal, that's Gazela. By Geneva, there's a din of Kefil. Right? Chaim Shnai Mishalim, you pay double. There's a unique din, right? Pashim Shpatim, there's a unique din, if you steal and or shech, and if you steal, you shech or sell the object that you sold, if it's a shor, you're going to pay 4. If it's a seh, you're going to pay 5. Right? I say they wrote. I absolutely. Chamishim shor tachas, shalim tachas ha seh. Right? 4 for what? 4 for the seh. 4 for the seh and 5 for the shor. Okay, 4 for the seh. You're going to pay 4 for the seh, 5 for the shor. Now, so that's 4 times 5. Now that's. Remember we spoke out the other day, guys. The din of kanas. What's a kanas? Any dava cuts of a set amount or anything more than what you did. Kefil is clearly a kanas. Dalad v'hei is clearly a kanas. So the question is over here: if when you go ahead and you're over on Dalid v'Hei and you have the Chi of Misa, would you pay? So that's what the Bryce is discussing over here. What does the Bryce say? V'atanya gonav v'tovach b'Shabbos, you steal and you shecht on Shabbos. Gona b'tovach by this. Now it has to be that the chi of Geneva and Tficha happened at the same time. The Chil Shabbos happened at the same time, right? Or else, they were kind of beforehand. We want to avoid that problem. Gona b'tovach by this gechavim. A second case, you stole and you shechted by the zara. Now in all these cases, you chayv misa. Gona shara niskol, or you go ahead and you shech a shara niskol. Shara niskol is a shar that there has a gemar din for skila. You're going to kill it. And you go ahead. Reb Meir says you're going to pay what? You're going to pay 4. Guys, watch. Why are you going to pay? Because you don't say kamle. Because again, you have a chiv misa over here. You're mechal Shabbos. You're going to buy the zara. You have a chiv misa. And nonetheless, you're paying. Why are you paying if you say kamle? So obviously, why do we hold? Reb Meir does not make a distinction between malchus and mammon and misa and mammon. He doesn't make a distinction. We're proving that what? So therefore, how can you be the Tan of the Mishnah? In the next Mishnah, it says if you're honest your daughter, you don't pay. And clearly, being honest your daughter, you're not paying because of kamle. So how can you say Reb Meir is the Tan of a Mishnah? Again, you're shechting on Shabbos. You chayiv misa, it's netilas neshama. At the same time, you chayiv misa, you're also chayiv for kamlei b'dera. You chayiv for ficha of a shar, or a seh, whatever it is. Why are you pater? It must be your pater because of kamlei. So why does Rabbi hold you chayiv? It must be that what? He doesn't hold the kamlei. So guys, so we have a kasha now. How can you say Rabbi is the town of a Mishnah if he obviously he doesn't hold the kamlei by misa? Yet the next Mishnah by bitai, clearly that's the case of kamlei, and it says your pater. Guys, the chiyuv and patur over here is not kamlei. Ha'itmar Allah, Amar Rabbi Yaakov, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Ve'imila, Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah, Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Reb Ovin, Rabbi Loi, V'chol Chaburas Mishmei, Rabbi Yochanan Amri. You know what this is speaking about? This brisa, V'toiveach al yedei acher. Someone else is going ahead and doing the shchita. So, guys, listen to what's happening over here. I went ahead and I stole, and I told someone else to shecht, and someone else is shechting. I'm chayiv because he listened to me. I'm chayiv because he listened to me. So we're going to get to it in a second. So now, guys, listen. You thought the reason why Reb Meir holds chayiv is because he doesn't hold of kamlei. He really does hold of kamlei, and therefore he answers it up, guys. Notice, guys, spherois. He really does hold of kamlei by misa, and therefore in the next Mishnah, if a man is minus his daughter, doesn't pay, off the hook. Our Mishnah, he doesn't hold the kamlei where? By makis and money. That's your teretz. It's a good teretz. Are you asking a kasha? How is it possible to say that he holds a kamlei? Then why, if you shecht on Shabbos, why are you paying? I'll tell you why. Because you told someone else to shecht. You didn't do it. You're not chayiv misa. Since you're not chayiv misa, you're paying. Okay, you got a glitch a problem. How could you be chayiv for someone else's din? We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second. But we'll get to that in a second. But the mechanics of the Gemara you got. You know, we answered up the kasha. We have a teretz from Rish Lakish. Again, what we have? Let's follow the paper trail. We have a stira. What's that stira? We have our Mishnah saying that you pay and you don't get malk, and you're paying. Mishnah Malkus says anusa you get malkus. We had two terutzim. We had Ula. We had Reb Yochanan. Rav Sheshes is giving another teretz. Rav Sheshes is saying our Mishnah also you're getting malkus. Our Mishnah says Reb Meir. Reb Meir says you get malkus. You know why you get malkus at the moment? Because he doesn't hold the kamlei. If the Gemara doesn't hold the kamlei, why the next Mishnah by Bita does he hold the kamlei? Ella must be what he doesn't hold the kamlei by malkus. He does hold kamlei by misa. On that we're asking, what are you talking about? He holds if you shecht on Shabbos, but talk about Yechayev. Says the Gemara, no, you know Yechayev. Yechayev because Yechayev tficha because you're not chayev misa. You're not chayev misa. You didn't shecht. The other guy shechted. How could you be chayev to pay based upon somebody else? So this is one of three places in the Torah we say yesh shliach lidvar avera. Right? Okay, Baruch always gets that, and the other one you never get. You got it. Okay, three places in the Torah that you say yesh shliach lidvar avera. One, me'ila, if you're moel by hegdish. Two, shlichus yad b'pikadon, that's a person shalech yad, and he uses something that he shouldn't. And three, if you tell a person by a dollar v'hei. We have a special riba with dollar v'hei. So here it is. Let's leave. It's asa no. That's why we'll get to it. We'll get to that. Now says the Gemara, the chizeh choytev is emischayev. Okay, I got your teretz. I got everything worked out. We filled in the blanks. Now we got a problem, but how is it possible that this guy's choytev? I'm a chayev. He shechs the animal. I have to pay. Amarov Amrachmana the tfachai oy mecharoi. It says in the pasuk the lashon is that I was right. It's 5 for the shar and it's 4 for the seh. 5 for the shar and 4 for the seh. Chamisha baka yishayim tachas hashar, right? The arbet sign tachas haseh. Okay, good. That's what you said. Good. Anyway, it says it says utfachai oy mecharai. So it says utfachai oy mecharai. Ma mechira al yedei acher. Guys, you can't. It takes two to tango. You can't have a seller unless there's a buyer, right? Just like mechira al yedei acher, af teficha, so to teficha is al yedei acher. So in other words, just like Mechira takes another person, so too the Tficha can also be Al Yedei Acher. You tell another person to Shlech, you be Chayev. The Gezeirus HaKosed that you say, Yesh Shliach L'Dvar Ve'er by Tal V'Hei. The Rebbe Shmuel Tana, he agrees with it, he just disagrees with the source. Oi, Utfachai Oi Mecharoi, that's the Oi, it's extra. The Rabbi says a Shliach, that comes to include the Shliach, that if you tell the Shliach to do, you're going to be Chayev. Yesh Shliach L'Dvar Ve'er. We don't say Divrei Rav, Divrei Talmud over here. The Chizkiya Tana, again the same din, but a different limud. Tachas, it says Tachas, it says the word Tachas, which is extra. The Rabbi says Shliach. To go ahead and be Marbe the Shliach. So right now, guys, we have a good teretz. Rabbi is the Tana of our Mishnah. Difference. He doesn't say Kamle by Mamin and Malkus. He does say Kamle by Mamin and Misa. Good. Maskav lo Mazutra. Back to just again on the brisa that we just mentioned. Mika midi the ilu ovid ihu loy mechayev. Guys. If he would shech the animal, would he be chayiv to pay? No, he wouldn't be chayiv to pay, right? He'd be vata. But of it shliach mechayiv, yet shliach does this mechayiv. If he go ahead and shech it on Shabbos, he would be what? He'd be pata, because we say but you can't leave the Rabbi. I'm telling you, a guy to do it. Why should I be chayiv? I can't empower shliach with something that I don't have. If I would go ahead and shech, I would be what pata. So now I'm telling you, shliach to go ahead and shech the chayiv. How's that possible? Says Gemara, by him it's not pshat he wasn't mechayiv. El mishum the kamle but the Rabbi mine.
He's chayiv.
In other words, this is like mamish a chakira in the Gemara. Now, how do you view kamle, guys? How do you view kamle? There's no chiyav at all. Well, no, there's a chiyav. I'm just not paying. Mashman that's the ladder, right? From here, there's a chiyav, but I'm not paying. In other words, when you shechted on Shabbos, did you fulfill what it requires for tficha mechira? Did I steal the ox? Yeah. Did I shech the ox? Yeah. Why am I chayiv? Why am I pata? Because it's Shabbos and there's a loophole over here. But you're chayiv. You would be chayiv. The mela, since there would be a chayiv without the kamle, your shliach's also chayiv. Your shliach's also chayiv. So we've held serve, very geschmack. The reason the machloikus between the Rabbi and the Chachamim is totally upon what? It's totally upon what? That the tficha was al yedei acher. Good. Tficha was al yedei acher, and therefore what you are like Rabbi chayiv because there's no misa, but he would agree to kamle. Now, what's the question is, if someone else is shechting it, like the Rabbanim, why you pata? Bishlei mal's kamle, you shechting on Shabbos, you pata because you chayiv misa. Now that you're telling me it's somebody else, and you're not chayiv misa, so why did the Chacham say you're off the hook for kamle? Off the hook by a dollar v'hei. Why are you off the hook? You see why we didn't say this yesterday, guys? Says the Gemara Vayta. El mishum the coming Rabbi. If it's speaking where the tficha took place through another person, what? My tamayu the rabbanon. What's the reason the rabbanon pata? Guys, outside. We got a brisa. Look at me. We have a brisa. The brisa says, let's just say we have three cases. We have Shabbos, we have Avodah Zarah, and we have Sharon Yisrael. Let's stay with Shabbos. A person shechs on Shabbos, says Ramei Yechayev, says the Chacham Yepata. And it's not because of Kamei b'derab minei. It's because of what? Because someone else is shechting. Ramei would be moed if it's Kamei, you'd be Pata. Someone else is doing shech. So now I understand. Yesh shliach levar avera. You went ahead shechted. There's no chiyuv misa because you didn't do anything. Therefore, you pay. Like the Chacham, why you Pata? Bishlei mas kamlei, I understand why you pata, but you're telling me there's no kamlei, but someone else is doing it. Why did the Chacham hold you pata from Daled V'Hei? Okay, the Gemara is going to answer a very lumdish answer, guys. It's because there was no shchita. Because there was no shchita. There's a shchita she'ena ruya. In other words, fellas, in order for the chay for Daled V'Hei, you need a shchita that matters the basa. If the shchita doesn't matter the basa, then it's not a shchita. So in Mela, it says we didn't fill in the boxes, right? You stole tfachai. No, you aren't tfachai. You shechted it on. Let's see now. You shech to avodah zarah. Can you eat it? Asabana. So is that a good shchita? Nope. You shecht a shara niskol. Good shchita? No. Because what's the halacha shara niskol? Asabana. Good. Shabbos is going to be a problem. But that's the mahalach. There's no tficha over here. There's no shchita over here because you can't eat the meat. There's no shchita. It doesn't fit the box. You did a ma'isa shchita, but it's not tfachai. You want to be mechayim as long as you understand that's good.
There's no other way to be mechayim.
Not for daled v'hei. Daled v'hei is a tficha. Again, it's chayiv misa. We're not reading the shvegen misa. We're reading daled v'hei. The chiyuv daled v'hei. We say chayiv potter. Avrami. We're not speaking about misa. You do chayiv misa skila for avodah zarah. You chayiv skila for Shabbos. We're talking about daled v'hei. Daled v'hei. You need utfacha yomacharei. Tfacha. You don't have tficha. That's going to be the lumdus. Says the Gemara. What's the reason the Chacham say yipata? The man Chachamim Amid Aleph guys. Man Chachamim. What's the Amid Aleph? Reb Shimon. The Tana of that brisa is Reb Shimon. Dama shchita shein aruya lo yishma shchita. A shchita that's not roy, that doesn't matter the meat for achila, is not a shchita. So therefore, I'm not chayiv for daled v'hei, because daled v'hei is only al yedei what tficha mechira. Says the Gemara, hot teinach avodas kechavim. That's very good by avodah zarah. You chayiv avodah zarah, you chayiv that's you can't eat it. The shor niskol, that's very good by shor niskol. You can't eat it. El shchita Shabbos shchita ruya. Shabbos is shchita ruya. You could eat it. And since you can eat it, you should be chayiv daled v'hei. How do we know it's shchita ruya? Tanan, a very, very famous Mishnah. Hashoichim b'Shabbos of Yom Kippurim, af al pi shem is chayiv v'nafshoy, shchita asay k'sheira. Right? Even though you shecht on Shabbos, Yom Kippur, even though you're chayiv v'nafshoy, nonetheless, it's a good shchita. So you see, shchita b'Shabbos is good. And for the Gemara, Savala Rabbi Yochanan Sandla. Reb Shimon holds like Rabbi Yochanan Sandla. Guys, we're going to see that Rabbi Yochanan Sandla holds shchita on Shabbos is nothing. Where do you see that? A three machlekes. The Tanya, a brisa. Hamevashel b'Shabbos, guys. Lav dafkim mevashel who are in shchita. Guys, good. Just put the word shchita in. You know, so you be mechal Shabbos. Cooking on Shabbos is also the tilas neshama is also oisei dava. So mevashel b'Shabbos, b'shoigeg. You forgot it's Shabbos, or you didn't know it's also to cook. Yoichal, you could eat it. B'mezid, if you do it b'mezid, lo yoichal, you can't do Reb Meir. That's where it's Reb Meir. Reb Yehuda Omer b'shoigeg yoichal l'motzei Shabbos. B'shoigeg, you have to wait till motzei Shabbos to eat it. B'mezid lo yoichal alamis, you can never eat it. B'shoigeg means kadesh yasu. You have to wait the amount of time it takes to cook. So the places. Reb Yochanan Sam lo Omer. This is what we need. B'shoigeg yoichal l'motzei Shabbos kadesh yasu. La'acherim, for somebody else. The loy. That's b'shoigeg. B'mezid, if you cook on Shabbos b'mezid, for who I did if you shechted on Shabbos, loy yoichel loy lamis, loy v'loy la'acherim. Guess what? You did it b'mezid, no one can use it. So that makes it what? A shchita she'ein aruya. So it's not a shchita she'ein aruya. Memela very geschmack. The chacham hold your potter. You know why? Because there wasn't a tficha. You potter from daled hay because you never tficha. So very good. Let's go over it. We have a brayso that says the following: that Tavah Chamach b'Shabbos, Tavah Machli Avodah Zarah, Tavah Shar Niskol, says Ramei Yechayev, says the Chacham Yipata, says Ramei Yechayev. Why? Because the tficha was done al yidei acher. Somebody else did it, so there was no Chiyav Misa. Says the Chacham, why Yipata? I was the tficha was done al yidei acher because the tficha was a tficha she'ena shchita she'ena ruya. It's not a good shchita. Why? Because it doesn't matter the meat. Clearly by Avodah Zarah it doesn't matter the meat. Clearly by Shar Niskal it doesn't matter the meat. They're both asa b'hana. There's a kanech that Reb Shimon has to hold according to Rabbi Yochanan Sandla that Chil Shabbos, Ma'aseh Shabbos will be asa b'hana, not b'hana, asa to eat. So therefore it's not a shchita. It's going to be b'hana, but it's asa to eat, and therefore it's a shchita she'ein aruya. That would be the way to answer up the brayso. Beautiful way to answer the brayso. But come late, misa mamin. Why does everybody hold? Come later the Rabbi Minei. Come later the Rabbi Minei. Okay. Anyway, says the Gemara. My time with Rabbi Yochanan Sandla. So now let's digress. What's the reason Rabbi Yochanan Sandla holds by Shabbos? Why does he hold by Shabbos that a person that if Ma'aseh Shabbos is asa b'achila? The pasuk says, "Ushmartem es Shabbos ki kodesh hi lachem mechalalehem mos yumas." Keep Shabbos; it's kodesh to you. Anyone who's mechalel Shabbos, most yumas will die. Kikola oiseh b'malacha the nichros nefesh imi keravama will receive karis. That's what Eidim Masra. With Eidim Masra, it's skila. Anyway, what does it say? Kidarish Reb Chia apiska de Beinasiya, like Reb Chia darshan on the opening of the Pesach of the Beinasiya. Ushmartim es Shabbos ki kodesh hi lachem. Ma kodesh asa b'achila, just like kachim is asa b'achila. Af ma'isa Shabbos asum b'achila. Ima kodesh asa b'hana, kachim is also asa b'hana. Af ma'isa Shabbos asa b'hana. Hamad leim lachem. It says lachem. Shalachem yehei. It should be yours. Yachal afilu b'shoigeg. I might think afilu b'shoigeg. That even b'shoigeg should be asa. Hamad leimar. Mechala mos yumas. When it says that, b'mezid marti l'chavlei b'shoigeg. Only a person mechala Shabbos b'mezid is chayiv misa. That's when I say. That's when I enact the kodesh yilachem. But if it's b'shoigeg, I will not enact the kodesh yilachem, and therefore it'll be mutter. So now you have Baruch Hashem. So you have Reb Shimon going to Rabbi Sandla. So you know that that Shabbos is shchita shein ruya, and therefore you potter what by dal v'hei. Loopholes. Now pligi baravachav ravina chadam ma'aser Shabbos b'mezid daraisa. That if you no, it's not Shabbos itself, but even be mechal Shabbos daraisa. Chadam d'Rabbanan. Mandam daraisa kidamoran. One says daraisa, like we just said, kodeshi, right? Kodeshi is kodesh. Mandam d'Rabbanan. Amakra kodeshi. He kodesh made myself kodesh. It's Shabbos itself is holy, but ma'aser Shabbos, the shchita on Shabbos, the bishul on Shabbos is not kodesh. Fred Gemara. Ulamanda amar d'Rabbanan. Mai tamayu d'Rabbanan de patri. Okay, let's go through it. Guys, we ended up making it a shchita she'ena ruya, correct? We so like the Rabbanan who were potted. They potted, why? Because Ma'aser Shabbos, we ended up like Rabbi Yochanan Sandler. Guys, follow the trail. The Rabbanan, how could they hold what? Guys, the Rabbanan, guys, look at me. The Rabbanan, how could the Rabbanan hold if it's al yidei acher? Why, what? Are you potter? Because it's not a good shchita. Why is it not a good shchita? Because Shabbos you can't eat it. Why can't you eat it? Because it's Rabbi Yochanan Sandler. So Bishleim and Matiyam is the rice, you can eat it very, very good. But let my name is the Rabbanan, Michael and Neymar. It should be shchita ruya. As I said, the Rabbanan, you're telling me that so therefore that makes it shchita ruya. My time the Rabbanan, the patri, Kiko patri Rabbanan, Ashira. Guess what? The Rabbanan are not going on Shabbos. They're going on only on Avodah Zarah and Shar Nisko. The guys, they're only going on Avodah Zarah and Shar Nisko. They're not going on Shabbos. And on Shabbos you would be chayiv. Shabbos you would be chayiv. Shchita ruya you would be chayiv. Yeah. Yeah, because but someone else is the Ayidayach, someone else doing it. Now we have another digression. Just again, guys, we did the crux of the sugya. Now we're just going. We're going through the minutia of different things. Now you said if you shech avodah zara that it's shchita she'ena ruya. You said that you chayiv misa. Furthermore, why tavech avodah zara keeping the shachar beporta? Since you shechted a little bit, you shechted into avodah zara. You went ahead and you shechted a little bit. At the time of the shechita, if avodah zara you shechted a little bit, so it's late. The behemoth now becomes what? Asa b'hana. The behemoth now becomes asa b'hana, right? Idach. So guys, you know for shechita you got to get a kohen nevesh. You got to trach in the esophagus, right? But avodah zara it becomes asa as soon as you get one siman. One siman is not a good shechita, but it asas it. At the time you're getting the second shechita, the second siman, it's already not noticed anymore because it's asa to avodah zara. So how can Rabbi hold you chayiv? That's the Gemara's kasha. Fred the Gemara. Tavech lebeis gechav Rabbi says you chayiv, right? Keeping the shacha beporta. Once you shecht it a little bit, it's lay. The behemoth becomes asa to the owner. Idach the second siman ki katavach when you shecht it and you complete it. Lav the mari katavach. You're not shechting his animal. It's asa ma'ana. So why let Rabbi you chayiv? The act of shchita is rendering the animal, not the owners. The first siman went ahead and made it asav avodah zara. It's no longer his owners. So why are you paying daled v'hei? Says the Gemara, Amar Rabba, but Omer it's speaking b'Gemara Zavicha hu ovda. In other words, einachinami. It was a normal avodah zara, you'd be right. You know what he said? I'm only serving the avodah zara after the shchita is complete. So in Mela, since the whole shchita was in the rishus of the owner, therefore, like Rabbi, you're going to pay daled v'hei. A similar kasha by Shar and Niskel. Shar and Niskel, that again is an animal that had a Gemara din from Misa. Velavdi dehu the katavach. Shar Niskel says us guys. A Shar Niskel is ubala shar naki. He's that's it. In other words, once the animal is, if you would kill a Shar Niskel, you'd be potter. Guys, you kill a Shar Niskel, you're potter. Let's say a person has a Shar that was a muad, and it was the best impossible lamisa. Let's say the Shar was a nirvad or reveya. That the Shar was the avera. Well, obviously it had been the reveya. Right, the Shar was the reveya, so therefore you would have to go ahead right and if you kill it, you'd be potter because it has no value. It's asabana. So question over here is, why are you chayiv daled v'hei if you go ahead what? And okay, outside guys, this is a very this Gemara is, Shas Cotton, this daf is Shas Cotton. It's crazy how much they're throwing in the kitchen sink. Watch. Ukimta. I give my shor to Avrami Branket a watch. Avrami is a shoyel. He could use the shor. Mamish could use it. He's a shomer on the shor. In his rishus, it becomes a shor niskel. In his rishus, it becomes a shor niskel. Yeah. Now you know it's shtois. It was a busy boy, and I come back, and I want the shor. I want the shor. Now, if Avrami would give the shor back to me, he'd be off the hook. In other words, it's like Heshavas Exela. You give me back a shor, ach the shor. So you could say, you gave me a shor, I'm giving you back a shor. You have a physical ox over here. Halachically, it's a problem ox, that's not my problem. Good. What happens now? So that's what happens. Now, if someone goes ahead and steals that ox from Avrami and shechts it, is he causing Avrami a monetary loss? Absolutely. Because you're going to owe me a shor now. That's a dova hagarim l'mamin. That shor is worth nothing to everybody else. But to Avrami Baranka, it's got good value. You know why? Because he can make his mitzvah of hashava to the owner of the ox with it. So that's what's happening over here. Says the Gemara, fascinating case. How could it be that a shor niskel yichayif adal v'hei? 1 second. Lavdi dehu. The katavach. He's not shechting his. It's asabana. Rabbi Hocham. What are we dealing with over here? Kigoin shemasru l'shomer. I gave it to Avrami Branket to watch. Behizik, and it does damage to base shomer. Why is by Avrami? V'nig mardina base shomer. In Avrami's rishus, it became a shor niskel. The gunvoy, and then someone stole it from Avrami. And gunner base a shomer. Reb Meir Savalak Reb Yaakov. He holds like Reb Yaakov. Savalak Reb Shimon. Savalak Reb Yaakov. The Amar af mishnig mardina is hichse shor lebolov. Even what after the Gemara din he can return it. We don't pass him like that, but he could. And the Savala Kreb Shimon Dava Hagayim Lamamin, something that causes value has value, dummy. So that's the case. That's the case of Shar Niskel. Or no Kimta, where you're shechting the ox that is a Shar Niskel, but it has value to the Shomer, because the Shomer holds like Rabbi Yaakov, he can get off the hook by returning it. Okay, going back to we began with a brisa. The brisa said what? The brisa said you're going to Shar B'Shabbos, right? The mayor says Yechayev. Chacham say Yepata. We thought it says Komle B'Derab Minei. The mayor said no. It's speaking with Zalidei Acher. Good, because the mayor would agree by Komle. New teretz. Rabbi Omar says Rabbi the following. It's speaking where what? You shechted it. You didn't give it to anybody. You shechted it. Right? Reb Meir loiku mishalim islay, meis u'mishalim leslay. Reb Meir holds. You don't say kamlei b'derab minei, guys, by what? By malchus. You would say kamlei b'derab minei by misa. Why? Because of bitoy. If a person is ma'anis' daughter, he's off the hook. Kasha. If he shechted the animal and he holds of kamlei, if he shechted it on Shabbos, guys, he's chayiv misa for sure. So why is he chayiv? You know why? Listen to this. When do we say kamlei? That's only by money. We don't say kamlei by kenas. If it's a kenas, we don't say kamlei. Guys, talid v'hei is a kenas. It's more than the value. Kefil is a kenas. Talid v'hei is double the kefil. And even more than that. So that's the teretz. You know why you chayiv? Because even though you'd say by misa kamle, that's only on the mammon part. You wouldn't say it on the kenas part. We have to answer pita. We'll answer pita when we get there. Says the Gemara again. So that's your teretz. You want to know why Rameh is the guys? Let's go for rice. Rameh is the Tana of our Mishnah, like Reish Lakish. Therefore, it's not a steerer to the Mishnah and Malchus. The Mishnah and Malchus, you're getting Malchus. Our Mishnah, you're getting Malchus and you're paying. That's Rameh is the Tana. If Rameh is the Tana, what about Bita? Rameh doesn't hold the Kamle. He does hold the Kamle where? He holds the Kamle by Misa. He doesn't hold the Kamle by Malchus. Fred the Gemara, if he holds the Kamle by Misa, why are you chayiv when you shecht on Shabbos, Daleh V'hei? He doesn't hold the Kamle by Kanas. By Kanas, if it's not a monetary chiyuv, it's not a tashlumin of tit for tat equality, it's a dava kitzvah set amount or more than you're going to pay, that he does not. Then he does not hold the kamlei. So may aloikum shalim mislei, mesim shalim leslei. And now you answered up the steers in the Mishnayos from Malchus to our Mishnah. And what about the brisa that you shecht on Shabbos? The shiny honey Shabbos avodah zarah and Shorin Iskol, the chiddush hu shechitz Torah b'kenas, that af agav the mikdal, even though you're getting killed, mishale, you're going to pay. How we doing? The Oz the Rabbi L'Tameh. Now, Rabbi we're just going to substantiate Rabbi. The Oz the Rabbi L'Tameh, Rabbi goes according to his reasoning. Dama Rabbi. Hoye Gedi Gonav Loy. He had a Gedi that was stolen by him. He stole it. And that's a chiyuv of money. That's a chiyuv, he has a monetary chiyuv there. Utfache b'Shabbos. Guys, so what happens now? On Shabbos, what's happening? Two things. He's chayiv misa for shechting. He's also called a dollar v'hei. Chayiv. You know why you chayiv? Because the monetary chiyuv he already was chayiv already. On Shabbos, all he's been chayiv is misa and the kanas of dollar the hay. So you see, when you chayiv, you don't say kamle by the kanas. You don't say kamle by the kanas, guys. Yeah, that's the chiddush. The chiyuv mamon's there. We're going to see the next case. If the chiyuv mamon's not there, then you're going to say kamle because of the mamon. Says the Gemara. Next case. Gona b'tavach b'Shabbos. Potter. Why? I chayiv dal v'hei. It's kanas. No. Shem ein geneva ein tficha. If there's no geneva, there's no tficha mechira. Guys, look at me. When you steal $100 ox, you chayiv $100. That's given. Good. When you pay 5 times more, you're paying $400. In other words, you're not paying $600. You're paying 1 plus 4. So part of the kanas is the money. So if I would go ahead and chayiv the money, watch. I'm chayiv the money. I stole it on Tuesday. I took away $100. If I shecht it on Shabbos and all that's left is kanas, I'm chayiv because you don't say kamle by the makom of kanas. But let's say I do everything on Shabbos. I steal it on Shabbos. I shecht it on Shabbos. So you have, what do you have? You have the chiyuv of money and the chiyuv of kanas. You're not going to be chayiv the kanas. Why? Because in ain what? If you don't have $100, you don't have $500. It's ain mammon, ain geneva, then ain kanas. So I'm not chayiv for the geneva. That's kamlei. You ask him. Therefore, there's no kanas. If it's just the kanas, I'll say kamlei. If it's mammon plus the kanas, I won't say because kanas is boitois on the mammon.
The Haitian is like zero, that's the $100.
What? Yeah.
The first 100
That's that. Haitian gazelle is the ox itself.
Exactly.
Right.
So the color in the Rabbi, that means I don't have to return the 100 either. Same? You understand?
Right? If you do,
Like
but
that.
yeah, sure.
So the knas and
Not the kanas. Not the kanas. You won't say kamlei. Since there's no chiyuv money, there's no chiyuv kanas. Because the kanas is the addition. So in other words, you need to be 500. I only have 400. Because I'm saying kamlei on the 100. Good, uncle?
he's going to come back, whatever he comes
He's
back.
dead. He's dead. He's getting killed.
He'll always have a chiv. That means if he has to come back and return it, whatever.
He's dead. He's dead. Okay, so now very good geschmack. V'amar Rabba says Rabba, ho yigdi gonav loy. So you're gonna have the same case. There's halacha, fellas, above in machteres. If you go ahead and find somebody, if you find somebody in a machteres, you're able to kill him. Why? Why are you able to kill him? Because we know that if he's sneaking in, he knows he's gonna stand up for the money, he's gonna kill you. So that's the halacha of habar lahagercha hashkem hargo. Someone's coming to kill you, you can kill him. Right? If someone is going to kill you, you can kill him. Good. So now you find him. So guys, machteres is the same as Shabbos, right? What is machteres doing? It's creating a chiyuv misa that this guy's a dead guy, right? So now what happens? Let's see the Gemara. He stole it already, and then he shechted it in the machteres chayiv. He'd be chayiv. Why? It's the same thing. You had the chiyuv. The first case you stole it on a Tuesday. Here you also stole it on a Tuesday. There the shechita was on a Shabbos. Here the machteres was on whenever that was. And on the Shabbos it was just machteres. Gonna v'tavak b'machteres, but the whole thing happens in machteres. And therefore, it's a chiyuv misa. Then pata. Shemen geneva ain't tficha. Vein mechira. So it's exact same halacha. One was by Shabbos and one was by machteres. The tzrichi need to tell me both. The ashmin and Shabbos mishum the suriyas olam. Since Shabbos is universalistic, guys, it's if you're machal Shabbos, you always chayiv misa. Al machteres is the issue show. He's only chayiv misa when you find the machteres. Once he gets out of machteres, he's a free man. So it's only you have a window where he's a dead guy. Shabbos, you're always a dead guy if you're machal Shabbos. Machteres. So I would say over there, emaloi. I would say maybe no. You don't need asra to kill him. The fact that it's in the machteres alone is, and therefore to be a chiyuv. Av Shabbos the boy asra may therefore be a patur. Av Shabbos the boy asra emaloi maybe one pata. So it's that what you patur in both cases. Good, very good. Amra Papa says a Papa. He said para genuvaloi. He had a stolen para. He stole it on Tuesday. Utfacha b'Shabbos, and he stole it and he shechted on Shabbos. Chayiv. Now, Rabbi was the Rebbe of Abaya, the contemporary of Rava, and Rav Papa was a what? Rav Papa was a Talmud of Rava. Guys, you hear? So, what's Rav Papa telling us about Rabbi 2 generations earlier, right? He's telling us the same thing. Not next in, he wasn't, the para was not, it was in his jurisdiction, but not al Yidei Geneva. It was in his jurisdiction because of what? It was borrowed. Utfacha b'Shabbos, and he shechted it on Shabbos, potter. He'd be potter. You'd say kamle. Amalei Rav Achaber the Rav Ravashi, Rav Papa Paros. What's he telling us? Cow? Look, he's just repeating what Rabbi said. And Rabbi said Gedi. Right? In other words, he said Gedi. He said Para. That's being facetious. Amalei Rav Papa. No. Says Rav Papa. She'ula asalash minan. Rav Papa is coming to teach me a din. He's coming to teach me a din of she'ula. That if you're teveich a Para she'ula on Shabbos, you'd be pata. That you'd say kamle. Salkadei chaminan hoyel v'amar Rav Papa. Since Rav Papa says mishash meshicha hu deschayev le b'mizoneseha. Outside. Before we talk. Let's talk before. We know Geneva. You know by kamle. The chiyuv of money and the death have to be simultaneous. Can't be at 2 different times. So if you steal on Tuesday and you shecht on Shabbos, so the chiyuv of money is over here and the chiyuv is over there. Okay. When does the chiyuv of she'ula take place? That you chayiv that it's like yours buying sin. At the time you do the mashicha, or at the time the oinus happens. But Papa holds the time the oinus happened, and that's the chiddush. When you go ahead and be Moshe, Avrami Brank is watching my ox. He's chayiv to go ahead and feed the ox as soon as he gets it. So you would think that it's like showing his ox. So therefore, if a tefika takes place later on, there's no chiyuv. It wasn't simultaneously. Kamash malon that the chiyuv is of the oinus is only b'shas the oinus. The oinus over here is being the ma'aser tefika, and that's the chiddush of a Papa. Says the Gemara. Let's see it inside. Says a Papa. Says a Papa shulas ashminan. Salkadei I would have thought. Hayil v'amar Papa. Since Rav Papa says that what Salkadei hayil v'amar Papa mishash meshicha hu deschayev le b'mizoneseha. As soon as the shoyel draws the shor into his animal into his rishus, he's chayiv to feed it, and therefore it's his. Hachanami mishash she'eli is chayiv b'oinsa. Mishash she'eli is chayiv in oinsin, and therefore when he shechts it later on, it's already like it's not this man of the chiyuv. So the chiyuv was already earlier. This is later on. So I'd say he's chayiv. Kamash malon Rav Papa that we say the patur of kamle. Why? That what? We don't say. We don't say that what that the chiyuv takes place. Then it takes place later on. It doesn't take place earlier. Amar Rava says Rava, you have Yisayimim sheniach lemaviyim parashula. Your father left him a parashula. The father left him an axe that was borrowed. Now what's the halacha mishtamshim ba kol yemei she'il asad? The whole if the as long as the lease was in vogue, they can go ahead and carry on with the lease. And what? Not only that, mesa if it dies. Ain't chayiv ba'oinasa. You're not chayiv in the oinsin if it dies because they didn't borrow it. Now, this obviously, if the guy makes a macha, there could be a different about ending the relationship. But if chayiv doesn't make a macha. Now, kisvurim shol. So that's the first halacha, guys. The first clause that they went ahead and they're using the ox of their father, of the shayil. Kesurim shalavim. Let's say they thought it was their father's ox, utvachuhu, and they shechted it, vachlu, and they ate it. So mishalmin demei basa bezol. They pay cheap meat. In other words, they wouldn't pay. They wouldn't pay. No, they wouldn't pay 100. They pay 2/3. They pay $66. 66 and a third. They pay a third. 2/3. They pay. If the father, however, if the father left them property that you can have a lien on, then chayvav mishalim. So the question is this going on the latter din of vad of the shchita? Was it going on the first din of vad of chayv ba'insin? That are not chayv ba'insin. Says the Gemara, iked demasnila, the words of Rava are Resha. It's going on the Resha. And the Resha said that they're not chayv ba'insin. That is saying, however, guys, what? If in fact there was if in fact the father left them property, then what? Then the father left them property, they would be what? They would be chayav. The Seifa said they pay basa bezul. So then in that case, what? But then they would be chayav the whole thing, whole amount. Now, man the masli aresha, the one that says that the words that if his father left the property is going under Resha, where they said Chayv Weinstein, then Kol Shekina Seifa, where they did an action where they should have checked out, they'd be Chayiv. Upligi the Rapapa. And they argue Rapapa, because Rapapa says the only Chayiv B'Shas the Einstein, not earlier. The man the Masna Seifa, the one who learns it on the Seifa, that the din where they shechted it, because they thought it was their father's, then they Chayiv if the father of property. Aval Resha, but on the Resha they won't be chayiv. Why? Because it was not din's rishus yet. Behind the Rav Papa, and that would be Rav Papa's din. It doesn't come to the rishus until the Shas lines. Thank you for listening.